Hello, stranger. Today, I'm gonna take you on an adventure, one filled with courage, excitement, and copious amounts of consumables. I am a big fan of Final Fantasy XIV, however, I have never played any other Final Fantasy game besides it, and since I'm taking a break from the game during Dawn Trail, I have finally ventured on my pilgrimage to the franchise. And I have a long way until I reach the present day. So join me as I 100% Final Fantasy III, a 36-year-old game. Our adventure begins in a random mine where a couple of funny looking onion knights are exploring the caves, when they stumble upon a wind crystal which we impress by clobbering a turtle right in front of it. As a reward, we are given powers of a job application. What's it trying to say? Once we exit the mines, we are greeted with an amazing soundtrack and a beautifully crafted pixel world. Seriously, sprites and the world in Pixel Remaster are crisp, and I can't glaze them enough. Just look at the goblins, goofy as dragons, and the other spawns of Mountain Dew Darkness. It's especially fun to look at the evolution of the sprites. Take for example Garuda. In this game, it's a green chicken man, decades before it gets bimbified into the baddest girl in the franchise. Now Ifrit, on the other hand, experiences evolution on the other spectrum, where he turns from a red dude into a lizard. On a side note, every single female enemy in this game has absolute massive honkers. Take for example Sea Witch. Now this is the modest, censored version, if you can believe it, because take a look at the concept art. And look at the Dullahan. We actually don't talk about Dullahan. Seed, who in this game is a dwarf-looking old man, not a Chad that I'm used to seeing from the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV. But honestly, I think I prefer the classic design. As for the job, for my main character I naturally chose Red Mage because I'm all about that sick drip. But other jobs unlocked later on have a very charming sprites as well, ranging from cute gamer girl who has the most adorable sprite when taking damage to a divorced Link. Now the whole gimmick of this game is that you can swap jobs at any time and you are strongly encouraged to do so. However, I have a counterpoint. I do not change jobs, I do not optimize, I choose one class and if I can't win then I just sockloft myself. There are so many gimmick dungeons in this game, having a mage is basically a mandatory to progress. And you better have not rolled Red Mage because you will only have one white slot so you can't untoad or unshrink yourself after a gimmick dungeon in early game. By the way, this makes all your physical companions useless and you have to respec and regrind their mage levels if you wanna have a great time. Did I also mention there are missable enemies in these dungeons? Fun time. Roughly 20% of the game spent in mini-state, which is equivalent of DM specifically hating your male human barbarian and designing encounters with 99 physical resist. Anyway, getting over that feeling was a tough one, but you literally cannot finish the game if you don't optimize your party composition by shuffling your jobs now and then. Now, in between you getting body blocked by NPCs, seriously, move out of my way, and visiting the strip club, you will have to restore the balance to the world by visiting each of the 4 elemental crystals. You know, the Final Fantasy thing. The gist of the plot goes as follows. There was an insanely powerful mage who had 3 immortal apprentices. And before quitting the life, he gave them each a unique gift. Doga was made into the most powerful mage with the absolute control over magic. Une he gave the control over the dream world, where anything changed in the dream world would change in real life too. And the last one, Zande, what do you think he gave him? An expiry date. He made him mortal and that was it. No extra power, no insane dimension defining ability, just a fortune cookie saying get good lol. Which made Zande understandably crash out and decide to destroy the world so that he can regain his immortality. Honestly, a justified crash out if you ask me. This shit is on the level of Betrayal Tai Lung experience. Now one of the additions in the third entry is hidden items, which can also be missable, and you need to find all of them to 100% the game. I'm a big hater of missable achievements. Now, when you couple it with basically invisible items on the ground, you just brewed an extremely strong FOMO potion. Another big achievement requires you to complete 100% of the bestiary, which is full of extremely rare encounters that can also be missable. So at some point of the game, I was just running from corner to corner trying to find a specific monster encounter, which, not gonna lie, at some point made me lose my marbles. If you are planning to play this game yourself, I would strongly encourage racking up the job experience and gil earned in the boost, just so that it saves you the insane grinds later in the game. You might be asking, where do you spend all your hard-earned gil anyway? Well, besides very expensive spells, we will be stocking up on consumables. This is a Final Fantasy game, so naturally all your money will go into buying potions and cures from statuses. Trust me, it's better than any gear you can buy. The new equipment piece will last you a dungeon or two, but being turned into stone? Well, that's for life, buddy. Enemies can turn into stone, paralyze or put you to sleep, or just straight up murk you in one move. And these status effects are persistent, meaning that they will stay even outside of combat and even if you sleep in a tavern. So you better stock up, buddy, unless you fancy being a stone frog until the rest of your life. In the end, you face off Cloud of Darkness, the final boss of this game and a final boss of the first ever raid I did in Final Fantasy XIV. The spirit, the build-up, all seemed perfect, and that soundtrack is just damn. I think this is the first certified banger boss soundtrack in the FF series. As for the battle itself, Cloud of Darkness was literally just spamming her beam attack. This put me on a timer, who is going to outlast one another. Can I deal enough damage in time to kill her before my healer runs out of spell slots? This whole boss was basically a DPS rush that forces you to optimize your party. I cannot stress this enough, you cannot win this without a healer. Luckily by this point my team was packing a punch and I have saved up all my shurikens for this. With Cloud of Darkness defeated, we roll the credits. It might seem like I bashed this game a lot, and this game is definitely not perfect. I think it starts very boring and very slow, but last third of the game is absolutely packed and is really enjoyable. You should definitely give it a try if you're a Final Fantasy fan and want to see where the roots of the modern series lie. See you another time, stranger.